That's that autumn wind. Shout out to the Raiders, man, we about to win.
Is Hunter Renfrow out for the season? You're watching the Raiders Report on Chat Sports, and we're talking about some news around our slot wide receiver, Hunter Renfrow, because he sustained a broken rib and a punctured lung in Sunday's loss to the Jets. As if the loss to the Jets could not get any worse. I mean, this Oakland Raiders team just seems that we just cannot catch a break. Our rookies are going down with injuries just all season long. The big story has been the Raiders players sustaining injuries. Now, Jon Gruden said that he may miss the rest of the season. My fingers are crossed that Renfrow doesn't miss the rest of the season, but he will undergo some more tests. So what does this mean? It means the Raiders get a little bit more thin these next few weeks without Renfrow. Tyrell Williams, you need to step up. Zay Jones, KEELAN Doss, Marcel Aitman. Dwayne Harris is also down with an injury. Trevor Davis. These are all players that you're going to see have to step up for this Oakland Raiders team. So obviously this is a big loss. Not only was Renfrow really starting to get into his own and really started to kind of build that chemistry with Derek. I mean, you can see his numbers up here. 53 targets, 396 yards, 2 touchdowns. But the real impact that Hunter Renfrow would make on this offense is picking up first down. So here's the Raiders' first down reception leaders. Sure, Waller, Tyrell, they lead the team. But then there's a little bit of a drop-off after Renfrow, right? I mean, Foster Moreau has been a great rookie tight end. Jalen Richard is our running back third down pass catcher. But losing Hunter Renfrow, who has 23 first down catches, that's a big impact. Also, Hunter Renfrow has 13 first down catches on third down. One of the reasons he earned the nickname Third and Renfrow was his ability to make clutch catches on third down. Now, I don't know if you guys saw the video. If you haven't, go check it out on my Twitter, at Mitchell Renz 365. You can see the hit that Hunter Renfrow took, but Renfrow is one tough dude. So show my man some love. Type 13s in the comments section below. He took a nasty hit, broke the rib, sustained a punctured lung, and finished the football game. That's incredible. Hunter Renfrow, my man, anytime you want to come on the Raiders Report, you are 100% able to join. Everyone type 13 in the comments section below. So Gruden was asked, who do you think could help fill in for Hunter Renfrow? And he mentioned 4 players' names. So let's talk about those 4 players and how I think that they're going to impact this offense. KEELAN Doss. He was the first player that Jon Gruden came out and talked about. And if y'all been subscribed to the Raiders Report, KEELAN Doss is one of the biggest reasons why I think I actually even got a shout out on HBO Hard Knocks, because this dude was an absolute star. Now, if we're talking about just the 2019 season, he has only 1 start in 5 games played. But when you talk about KEELAN Doss, you got to talk about his preseason. He led the Raiders in targets with 25. He led the Raiders in receptions with 17. Yards with 161. KEELAN Doss was a very, very prominent player in the preseason. But the preseason doesn't really matter when it comes to the regular season. So here are his numbers right now. 6 catches, 79 yards, and 3 first downs KEELAN Doss has picked up for the Oakland Raiders. But when Jon Gruden was asked about replacing Renfrow, this is what he had to say about KEELAN Doss. Obviously, we have KEELAN Doss, who's played in the slot a little bit this year. He's a good player. And I totally agree with Gruden. I think Gruden has a lot of confidence in KEELAN Doss, and we are finally going to get to see this UDFA get on the field a little bit more for the Oakland Raiders. Now, if y'all bleed silver and black, I want you to subscribe to the Oakland Raiders Report, the #1 most watched Raiders channel on YouTube. I'm very, very thankful for a lot of things. My family, I'm very, very thankful for my job here at Chat Sports, and I want to keep my job at Chat Sports. So if you guys don't subscribe, make sure that you do. I'm trying to get to 35K subscribers. So if you're a diehard Raider fan, or if you know somebody that's a diehard Raider fan, take the link youtube.com/chats or youtube.com/Raiders Report and send it to your friends. Let's go now to the next player that Jon Gruden mentioned, Darren Waller. Okay, we're not just talking about wide receivers that could replace Hunter Renfrow. We're just talking about overall replacements who need to step up for our slot receiver. So you're going to look at Darren Waller, who is by far, I'll say, the Raiders' best receiving option right now. And teams have kind of tried to take away Waller from Derek over these last few weeks. So potentially you could see the Raiders try to move him over the field a little bit more to create some mismatches and to create some better opportunities to getting Waller the football. What does this mean? If this does happen with Waller moving into the slot, look for rookie tight end Foster Moreau to get a bigger role. Now, this is what Waller has done this year. 707 yards, 3 touchdowns, 59 catches. But as I noted to before, he leads the team with first down catches. But one thing that we know, and one thing that Gruden has said multiple times, he likes running 3 tight end sets. Here are 3 tight ends right now. And if Waller ends up playing in the slot, look for the rookie out of LSU, Foster Moreau, who has come up very clutch in the red zone especially, to have to play a bigger role at tight end. And don't be surprised if you see the Raiders even trot out even more 3 tight end sets than they already have this year. The next wide receiver that could replace or help replace Renfrow, it's Zay Jones. The Raiders went out and traded for Zay Jones after Week 5 against the Bears. One of the reasons why they went out and got Zay Jones is because of his ability to play in the slot. Now, Mike Mayock loves Zay Jones coming out of college for good reason. I mean, the dude had 157 catches his final year at ECU. The only issue with Zay is he's been inconsistent, but that's kind of been his story his entire career. Now, he has 18 catches, 157 yards, 8 first downs this season, okay? 2019. But Zay overall is a player who you could see, Derek maybe have to lean on a little bit more. So Jon Gruden said this about Zay. Jones made a living playing in the slot at East Carolina. So we'll see who we plug in there as we prepare for the Chiefs. Right? We need to prepare for the Chiefs. So, according to BetDSI, the Chiefs are 8.5-point favorites over the Oakland Raiders. The over-under in this game is 51.5. The last time the Raiders played the Chiefs, it was 38 points. But 28 points were scored in the second quarter alone. So I've already gone to chatsports.com/bet. I've already put my bet on the Raiders covering the spread. The over-under in this one, though, is a tough one for me. I'm not quite sure how to go about it. But this Chiefs team did have a bye week. It's going to be a tough game for the Raiders. So if you all haven't gone to BetDSI and put your money where your mouth is yet, go do it. But everyone, this is a Raiders channel. Now, I have confidence in this team to have a bounce-back game. The NFL, it's a little crazy sometimes. And I want every single person that's watching this video, just like John said, we're preparing for the Chiefs. Well, type beat KC in the comments section below. So BetDSI is the internet's #1 sports book. Chatsports.com/bet. If you put down $50, you will get $60 for free, but when you use Raiders 120 for the 120% deposit bonus. So if you don't use Raiders 120, you won't get the 120% deposit bonus. BetDSI has hooked up Raiders Report with the best deal on the internet. I challenge you to find a better one. You can't do it. Chatsports.com/bet. The last player that Jon Gruden mentioned to help replace Hunter Renfrow was Derek Carr. Now, this one was a little bit of a head-scratcher to me, but then I really thought about what Derek Carr could bring to the table. Sure, he's the Raiders' third-string tight end, but Gruden likes his 3 tight end sets, and if we can get Carr, Foster Moreau, Darren Waller on the field more, you could see that. Also, I think when you look for Gruden, or for why Gruden said Carr, I think it's more just because Carr is going to show up clutch in the red zone. He's also going to be on the field more for running situations. Now, Hunter wasn't really the best run blocker, but Carr is at least a pretty solid run blocker. Now, he's not going to be, I think, the player who we're going to look for in terms of targets, but of getting on the field when we need a clutch first down, maybe picking it up with Josh Jacobs, maybe going for it on 4th down with Alec Ingold. Look for Derek Carr to be out there and potentially even in the slot. So those were 4 players that Jon Gruden mentioned that need to help replace Hunter Renfrow. But here are some other players that I'm going to challenge. I'm going to challenge Tyrell Williams to step up. He's been very good, 26 first down catches this year, but he needs to now step up even more. Jalen Richard has played pretty well over these last 2 games. You need to step up. Marcel Aitman needs to step up. And then Trevor Davis, speedster, he's been pretty good for us in special teams, but don't be surprised if you see him on the field a little bit more now with Hunter Renfrow down. So technically, I mentioned 8 players, 4 that Jon Gruden said, and then 4 that I'm also going to challenge. So with Hunter Renfrow potentially out for the remainder of the season, who steps up? Which player? I need to know, and I want you guys to weigh in. So if you're watching this on YouTube, If you're watching this show on Facebook, the Raiders Report is all about Raider Nation getting their comments in because our voice needs to be heard. So with Renfrow potentially out for the season, I want to know who steps up. Raider Nation, what's going on? Is this the #1 Raiders channel on YouTube? For Chucky Heads, believe it, baby. And if you haven't already, subscribe right here. I'm giving you Chucky Heads, news, rumors, Raider Nation rumors. And look at this, I'm making your life easier. Check out my next video. Thanks for watching, and go Raiders.